Hey, Magic Man here, and today I've got a video for you in my Tier 7 Japanese battleship, the Nagato, and this is a Tier 7 match. And if you're not familiar with the Nagato, judging by my health, I actually have the stock hull on this ship. I also do not have the speed upgrade either, so my top speed in this battleship is 21 knots currently. And I unfortunately don't have the giant health boost or the maneuverability of the B hull. So I'm missing out on something like 16,000 hit points, I think is what you get when you upgrade to the next hull. So this is a completely stock Nagato minus the fact that I do have the aiming module. And I think I have another module on here, but this is actually, I think this is my second or third game in this ship. I haven't played a whole lot in it. I just actually unlocked it. As you can tell, I don't play battleships very much. But so far, I've actually kind of enjoyed this battleship, mainly due to how accurate the guns are. And I unfortunately overshot that Omaha because that could have been some citadels right there. It looks like he's moving somewhere around 3/4 speed. I think if he had been moving at full speed, I probably would have landed those. But the reason I'm actually showing this video, not too much because of what I did in it, more of kind of like the weird, kind of freakish finish that happened, that ended this game. I don't know, is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. And unfortunately for me, still leading this guy too much, but somehow 2 overpenetrations did 10,000 damage. That's just weird. Seems weird to me. And those shots unfortunately came up short. So I could have deleted this guy off the map a couple of times by now, but I'm really failing at aiming here. And we got some shots coming in from the Colorado. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage to us, but he does announce his presence over there. And I'd like to take this guy out just so he doesn't get too close to our destroyer over there, but I got a ricochet and a penetration. I'm starting to think that maybe those hit displays over there are bugged. And I'm gonna see if we can wipe this Kirov off the map. And nope, just get an over penetration on him as well. So far I'm not having much luck with the citadels. I am gonna change my fire to this Warspite. Well, apparently past me decided no, we're gonna take another shot at this cruiser. And take one shot there. Kind of waited to see if he was gonna commit to the turn or if he was just kind of turning out. And when I saw what he was doing there, I adjusted my aim a little bit. But it looks like this Warspite's gonna get some torpedoes to the face and actually get another ricochet off the Kirov of all battleships, or not battleships but cruisers. So yeah, don't know what that's all about. Land some decent damage on the Warspite, but that ship has always been known for taking a lot of damage. Seems like the superstructure is kind of soft and it's fairly large, so makes them an easy target. And I'm sort of sizing up some of these other ships out here. It looks like that Congo is possibly not really moving in either direction, so I just take a shot at the middle of his ship. And it looks like he is reversing now, and unfortunately he is going to get out of the way of those shots, at least as far as the Citadel is concerned. And we get one shell that plunges through the deck. So hasn't been a spectacular game as far as damage goes. At least not yet anyways. But the enemy left this flank empty, so I am pushing around at full speed. Well, at least as full of a speed as the Nagato will go without a engine upgrade. Needless to say, it's very slow. It looks like I might actually hit 22 knots maybe, so it looks like the top speed's a little bit higher than 21, but not much. and this thing does accelerate incredibly slowly, and didn't quite lead him enough in reverse to land the shot on a citadel, unfortunately. This whole aiming with battleships at longer ranges is sort of a new thing to me. I'm used to just landing shells on the ship at closer ranges, at least in my destroyer and cruisers. I'd like to be out in front right now, but it's just not a possibility. And get a penetration there, do some damage. Not a whole lot. Looks like this Warspite's going to be done for. Just sort of sizing up who I want to take a shot at next. And that was a pretty painful salvo, actually, from the Colorado. It looks like I don't know if that penetrated my deck armor or if it just went through the superstructure and stuck. But that salvo did quite a bit of damage. Be nice if I could land some shots on these guys, and I'm getting the shells to land, I'm just not getting the citadels, unfortunately. And I wasn't sure if that Emerald was going to keep on backing up, but it looks like he does, and we get two citadels on him and just completely wipe him off the map. RNG was good to me there. I wasn't sure what this guy was doing. I hate it when these battleships sit like this. I can't really tell if they're going to move forwards or backwards, and it looks like he is going to start moving backwards, but I'm just not getting those citadels that I want. Now, on these battleships, typically I'll aim a little bit above the waterline because I know dispersion is going to play a factor in my shot, and I want to try and maximize how many shells are going to hit the enemy ships. So I usually aim a little bit above the waterline, but maybe that's the wrong thing to do. I don't really know. It seems to work out for me in most other ships, so I figured it'd work out for me in battleships. It's just I'm having a little bit difficulty landing those citadels on these guys. But that's not really the point of this video. I've never seen anything like the ending of this video before happen to me, and I wasn't quite sure what the heck was going on. So I'd like to take a shot at that Colorado, but unfortunately it's telling me that at least a couple of my guns are going to get blocked by the mountain, and a couple of his shells got blocked, which is great for me because that's less shells coming in. Yeah, it looks like the only ones that actually hit me were the ones that actually the only ones that had a chance at hitting me were the ones that clipped the mountain, so it's good for me. And it looks like I got a little cruiser over here who wants to kind of tangle. I'm not a huge fan of the Königsberg. Maybe I just don't know where the Citadel is, or maybe it's just tiny, but seems like this ship has a hard to hit Citadel, kind of like the what's the ship I'm thinking of, the Cleveland. And I just get one over penetration on the nose there. I depressed the guns a little bit too much, and that unfortunately caused me to probably miss taking him off the map. And I gotta worry about the Baron that is coming down through B cap. I know he's gonna have a shot on me over those islands here before too long. And that was a pretty good shot right there. Wasn't too bad. Take him out of the game. If I had been paying attention, which I wasn't at this point because I was too worried about what was going on as far as possible torpedoes, I would have noticed that the enemy carrier is dead and I had nothing to worry about from these torpedo planes. But unfortunately, at this particular moment, I am worried that they're going to drop because they just seem to be hovering around. And with the base hull on the Nagato, I'm going to be honest, even against these tier 6 planes, the AA is pretty awful. This thing is definitely not an AA beast, and I unfortunately underestimated basically the speed of this guy, and I didn't think he could really turn out, but it looks like there's just enough room there, so I missed a couple of shots due to that. And I'm still worried about the torpedo planes, but at this point I can't really fixate on that too much. So he unfortunately, I don't know if that was a citadel or just a bunch of penetrations, but I eat a ton of damage there. I probably could have stayed nose in. At this point I realize that the torpedo bombers are just flying around aimlessly because the carrier is dead. But I figured eating a citadel from the Congo was much better than getting torpedoed by 4 or 5 torpedoes. So that was my thinking there. That's why I opened up my side, try and turn away from those torpedo bombers. But the carrier was already dead. I noticed that halfway through my turn. And I actually fired a crap load of my shells at the front of that Baron, thinking that I was going to penetrate. Just due to the fact, because it seems like at Tier 7, most of the battleships get big enough guns to overmatch the bow armor on the rest of these guys, but that wasn't the case. Now, this is where something weird happens. As you can see, the guns on the Gneveny there, they're going straight forwards and straight backwards, which tells me that Gneveny right there just disconnected. So it looks like that destroyer player right there sort of disconnected and then just unfortunately ended up right next to the Baron. So we actually get the Confederate medal there. So I can't help but think that maybe that Baron should be done for. Gneveny probably would have launched his torpedoes right at him had he not disconnected at a very unopportune moment. But there's also somebody else on my team who unfortunately disconnected at that time as well. And that was our battleship over there to the right that you just kind of caught a glimpse of in the corner of my screen. The Texas player unfortunately disconnected as well. So we had 2 disconnections right at the same time, which is really odd. So now it's basically me and this Omaha against 3 battleships. And unfortunately for me, I'm facing a German battleship, which really sucks because I can't citadel him and just take him out. It's basically just going to start shooting at the Texas or the Omaha. I'm not really sure which. Yeah, and it's the Omaha that he is shooting at and takes out. And it looks like now he's turning his guns to the Texas. This is one of the sad things about the 32-second reload on the Nagato. And I'm just trying to land as many shells on this guy as I can. It's not really working out for me. And now the Congo is rushing in, so I unfortunately have to get moving, but with how slow this ship accelerates, I don't know if I'll be going anywhere. And it looks like he is turning in for the ram. I was looking to see what the hell the Texas was doing. That's when I realized that he had disconnected, because I was hoping that he was going to take the Baron out since he hadn't been shooting. And I'm just going to shoot one gun there. And unfortunately, that was not enough to actually kill him. Spurgeon on battleships, man. That's why I hate these ships so much. My shells just never go where I want them to. And, oh, crap. This guy looks like he's going in for a ram. I'm going to try and turn out. But unfortunately for me, I just don't have enough speed to avoid him at this point. And I get blown up. But, did manage to take out 4 ships. We got high caliber and Confederate before it was all said and done, and got about 181,000 points of damage. Now, normally I would think this would be a win for us because we have a carrier, but with it being a Colorado left, I don't think that's going to happen, and especially with this Texas being disconnected, so I'm not quite sure what happened there. But two of our ships got disconnected at basically the same time, and it went very badly for us. And it looks like the carrier possibly out of bombers too, so yeah. Anyhow, this game does end in a defeat for me. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it. When you lose 2 players at the end of the game like that, it really hurts your chances for winning. I could have possibly had a chance to win this against the Colorado. He seemed like a very passive player, so I might have been able to lure him into a situation where I could have got his broadside and possibly took him out. But so anyhow, moving on to the results here, I actually did 181,000 points of damage. Got the Confederate Top Gun and a devastating strike. Ended up with 4 kills and that whole thing, and actually got a flooding from the Ram. But ended up on the top of the team there with 1,500 base experience, and we actually, wow, that Texas did almost nothing. 117 experience. That's incredible. But anyhow, just sort of spread our damage around. Really doing the battleship thing, just trying to shoot whoever is the most vulnerable. And, you know, unfortunately it was a defeat, but can't win all of them. Did actually make 134,000 credits in this game, but if you like what you saw, please hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more. So